And Dizzy, who's watching chat from like all the way down the barracks chat, goes, my time has come. She's just so happy about this. She's like, yeah, I'm going to get that D. Woo, that sweet D. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
The front lines of the next frontier.
Kill them all!
Starship Troopers.
Now, my friends, let's go ahead and get to this review of Starship Troopers, chat, the 1997 Paul Verhoeven directed cult classic. Now, chat, typically, before I get into the nitty-gritty details of these movies, I like to ask you a very specific question. How many of you have seen Starship Troopers, chat? Very, very curious. I've really only seen this. I see this on television a couple times, like not even like the full movie or whatever, but like scenes. You watch it for 20 minutes, like okay, then you move on. But I have only seen this one other time, chat, and it was definitely in like the mid-2000s. I did not see this in theaters. I remember seeing trailers for this movie back in the day. I remember some people being excited for it. But outside of that, not really. Let's see here. Who we got? Casfane, not yet. Dez, I have. Good to see you, Dez. Callie, me. Big homie, nay, I have not. Clad, I haven't. Decoloxina, a long time ago. Galvarino says, yeah. I saw once on TV years ago. I need to rewatch it at some point. So I have. Kelly is one of my faves. James, I have never liked it. Vanny, when you were in high school, even in Young Justice. Yeah, I don't like the way he's portrayed in Young Justice. I really dislike how they handle him in Young Justice. Which Starship Troopers? Like the original. We're talking about the original 1997 film. Coco Chops has never seen him. Minix. I saw the last 20 minutes on TV at an age probably too young for it. One Big Nerd, welcome to stream. Was one of my brother's favorite movies. James, I did in theaters. I'm old. That's fine. Too tall. I haven't seen this. No, as I said before, I saw this probably like in the mid-2000s. By the time when they were already making some of the direct-to-DVD movies, I remember going to the theater. I mean, I remember way back in the day, chat, in the 90s, seeing, they had a huge marketing blitz for this movie, chat. And this was at the time, people forget. During the 90s, chat, there was a lot of big spectacle sci-fi space operas, chat. Anything from Independence Day to Armageddon to, Deep Impact, a lot of environmental, big space threat type movies, right? Or like Starship Troopers. And the reason why you saw such a glut of these during this decade, chat, is because people were really fucking hungry for a Star Wars movie, chat. It had already been from 83 up into the 90s, close to a decade, and people were just looking for what's going to be the next Star Wars. And you had all these filmmakers, especially like with stuff like Independence Day that saw some success, but people were still hungry for that. And you had these dudes like, okay, we want to create our own Star Wars franchise. What's a sci-fi property we can get? And one of those, chat, was, of course, Starship Troopers, which is written and is based on Robert A. Heinlein's original 1959 novel. I guess there's like a series of novels. I know this one. There might be more, I'm not so sure. And they're like, okay, let's fucking do that. And who was a very popular sci-fi director at the time, sci-fi action director, Paul Verhoeven. Of course, famous for directing RoboCop and Total Recall, two of my favorite sci-fi action films of all time. I absolutely adore those films. I actually reviewed RoboCop, chat. Check out my YouTube channel, Class in a Glass. And he was the choice for it. Now, the thing is that the thing that's interesting about Starship Troopers you don't know, and this has been like a point of controversy and has gone back and forth and changed over time, but a lot of people really dislike the original novel and even this movie to a degree. And the big reason is because Heinlein, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, Chad, Heinlein, he seemed to really glorify the idea of a fascist police state, a fascist one-world government, chat, where the ideas of typical things that you will have as a citizen of a country, they're stripped from you. They're basically stripped from you unless you adhere to the rules of the state completely, chat, and join the military. So if you join the military, you get all the benefits that ordinary citizens would typically enjoy, the right to vote, all of that. And he created this world. Chat. A lot of people have said, I mean, there's a lot of allegories to Nazism in it. I mean, the fact that the movie seems to takes place in Argentina, chat, in Buenos Aires, where a lot of Nazi, war criminals escaped to after World War II. Like, there's just like visions. Like, okay, now people have argued that the author wasn't, and even the author himself had said, I'm not glorifying fascism. I just create a world where it could possibly exist. And this has gone back and forth back in the day. She's like, I don't even know where I fall on it. All I can see is like, clearly that was and it was more serious. I think the other reason why is because it was just presented so seriously. And that was the author's point. But again, I don't specifically know. Again, I never read the book, so I can't tell. I've only heard the back and forth between these people. Thank you. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and thank admin for the host. As we say, chat, the host mean a lot to me. Help spread the word of the Revenants. There's the words going out there, chat. Hopefully, not only get some more Revenants, but some Huckleberries. I appreciate those Huckleberries as well. But so that was a big point of controversy. Now, when they wanted to adapt it, Paul Verhoeven, it's funny. He couldn't get past the first few chapters. He read some of the first few chapters, chat, and just said he was so bored by it and thought it was so self-serious. It's just like, I just don't like it. And so the person who eventually wrote the screenplay for him, he told him what the rest of the book was. Edward Niemeyer, I believe is his name, according to Wikipedia. And he's like, okay. And so what he wanted to do is, Chad, he just wanted to do a satire. He was just like, okay, this book is taking itself so self-seriously. And, Paul Verhoeven was, of course, famous, chef, for a lot of his satirization, especially of 80s American culture in something like RoboCop, chat, tackling everything from corporatization to commercialization, capitalism, a fascist police state, how people would give up their lives, just for the sake of convenience. Like, he was great with that kind of thing in RoboCop and also in Total Recall. So I was like, oh, okay, perfect. For someone like him. Of course, he did also, the same thing with Total Recall. And he applied, Chad. He did a layer of satire for this film, and it's actually quite funny when you look at it. And again, I think when the movie came out, studios were just presenting this as, no, this is the next Star Wars. This is what we want this film and potentially this series to be. And that's not really what the movie is. Oh, witness! Witness me! Mr. Hummendinger, thank you so much for the raid. Chat, please do check out Mr. Hummendinger's streams. He is a variety streamer like myself. Plays a lot of the Fall Guys shit. Up in the 0.02 percentile of players in the world. Do check him out. Vaso, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing very well. I'm just seeing some other people that are stopping by. Good to see you. It's a non-dog pooping raid, apparently, chat. Wow. We will also go, so thank you for the host. Appreciate that. Just saw that right there. I'm just in the middle of my descriptions. I sometimes get lost in them. And Paul Verhoeven said, I'm gonna fucking do what I want with this book. And so it's an incredibly loose adaptation, chat, that has a heavy emphasis on satire. But the studio went, we want this to be the next Star Wars, and it's just not the next. It's not next Star Wars. I will say this: when it comes to the choreography and a lot of the battles, chat, and yes, the CGI, like all CGI in the '90s, chat, it does not hold up. it doesn't look great. But I will admit, the animators did a very good job on the bugs, the enemy of the movie, chat. There are these super intelligent bugs who are at war war with humanity for some reason. We're not really told. We're only kind of told through propaganda. It's like, well, they look different from us, and that's why we gotta destroy them. And it's kind of hinted at because humanity has started to colonize the galaxy. And the bugs are very concerned about this kind of thing, and they think humanity is a threat because of their fascist, tendencies. And I think that might be the reason why. But again, it's you got to like kind of read in between all the propaganda they put up in the movie. So it's all that satire. But that's what I always thought. The bugs are just like, we're just fucking scared of you guys. But I will say, all of the choreography of them and how they like rip people apart is really goddamn cool, Chad. Like, a number of the action scenes are really fun. It's like, yeah, this is dated. There's no doubt about it. But Paul Verhoeven, you could tell he loves practical effects, and I'm sure he would have wanted to do more practical effects if given the opportunities. Just for the scale of some of these scenes, Chad, he just wouldn't have been able to do it. It would have been way, way too expensive for some of these models, shit, obviously. But what he does is really fun. The practical effects that he does use are bloody and gory, filled with all the blood and viscera you can possibly imagine. I really appreciate the movie for that. And you have some fun performances, I'll say. You know, I know you have Casper Van Dien as the lead character, Rico. He does a decent job. He's kind of like the typical Aryan, you know, Ubermensch. What the Nazis say. Ah, this is the finest specimen of humanity. That kind of. I think that he's very much supposed to be that in the film. Michael Ironside kicks ass in this film. He does a really good job both in his introduction and later on in the film. Clancy Brown has some amazing scenes in this movie. He's really funny. You got Gary Busey's son, JB. I was like, okay, there he is. You would wreck as soon as you see this guy's face. Like that is definitely the spawn of Gary Busey, Chat, because he's just all fucking teeth, just teeth and gum shit. I forgot. I was like, oh my god, yeah, he's been making movies for over 30 goddamn years, shit. The last time I saw him was in Stranger Things season 3. He looked significantly older, but here looks like he's probably in his 20s or something. So it's kind of funny to see him like just so young again. And again, the ideas behind this film as a satire, I think for the most part work. I just think at the time and the marketing, which they pushed a lot of money in the marketing of this movie. They emphasize, no, this is the next Star Wars. This is a sci-fi action film, and it is. But it's trying to say something, too, and that was just not conveyed. And I think that's why a lot of audiences initially were kind of turned off by the film. You know, and how it seemed to glorify fascism, even though it clearly, the movie's not glorifying fascism, chat. It's satirizing it. I don't know what the book does. I never read the book, and that goes back and forth. People speculate. The authors denied it, but I simply do not know. And like I said, I saw this movie in the mid-2000s, thought it was fine. And I've seen clips of it, online years since. But after watching it again, I will say I found myself liking it a lot more now that I'm more mature and realizing what Paul Verhoeven was trying to say at this film. It has flaws. It definitely has some issues. You know, it's just kind of like, I guess it just kind of ends. You know, it feels like they want to set up. This felt like they want to set up a series, and I guess they technically did, but I don't know if any of those movies are connected to each other. I know that Casper Van Dien is in the third one. I don't know if he's in the second one or if those have any semblance of connection at all. I know they got fucking cheaper looking as they went along, but that's really all I know. But no, after watching this, I will say I have a renewed appreciation for this movie. It's not one of my favorite sci-fi action films, but I was like, I saw what Paul Verhoeven was going for, and I think he succeeded for the most part, chap. This is also, I think, one of the last big movies that Paul Verhoeven was able to, like, really direct. The movie had a huge fucking budget. 105, I was wrong. It's not 110, $105 million, chat. Box office, 121.2 million. So this was a box office bomb. Got mixed reviews, but I think in the years since, it very much has become a cult classic. And the franchise has obviously continued on, especially when it comes to some of these direct-to-video films. I don't know how the quality of those are. I would guess not as good as the first film, chat. But no, I've found myself actually enjoying this quite a bit. But chat, we start the movie off, chat. We start the movie off with fascist propaganda, chat. Little bit of fascist propaganda, chat. And we're learning about the Earth Defense Systems team, or whatever the fuck the organization's called, EarthGov, Earth Government, chat. So yeah, we've learned, chat. We've learned. In society, in this fictional society, Chad, the democracy is bullshit. It doesn't work. These goddamn mud people don't know how to rule themselves. You know what they need what they need a little bit in their lives, Chad? Fascism. That's all they need, Chad. To praise and to serve the military state of EarthGov. And you see all this wonderful-esque, very much satirized Paul Verhoeven propaganda, chat, where you have these goddamn soldiers, which I will say of different races. So he's like, okay, I'm not going to be too racist or anything like that. And I'm like, but no, you weren't going to let some of the brown people and the black people, we're going to let them in here. I mean, we got to fight the bugs because that's the true enemy. That's the true enemy. All right, humanity's got to stay together, even if we don't think all humans are equal and all that. But we got to fight the bugs. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing, Paul Verhoeven. I see what point you're getting at. But we have all these guys saying, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my part. And you got male, female, all different races. Chat. And we have these little kid. He's like he looks like he's 12. And I'm going to do my part. And they go, all laughing and chat. But the thing is, he's eventually going to serve, chat. He's eventually going to serve because there are two different things in this society. You're either a citizen or a civilian. And civilians, they're looked down upon. Civilians, they have it rougher. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can live your life and everything, but it's not going to be as easy for you. All right, you're not going to be able to get all the perks of being a citizen. The only way you can be a citizen, Chet, is all this propaganda showcases is serving the goddamn Earth government, okay? That's the only way. You got to do your standard 2 years, and we'll take care of you. We'll pay off all your goddamn college loans. We'll get you that nice car. You're always gonna be able to get that promotion over one of these goddamn civvies. No, we're gonna get you. You'll be able to get your birthing sex ticket, because apparently, chat, they control procreation in this world, and you gotta get a goddamn license, a ticket, in order to make a baby. And so if you're a citizen, you have, boom, you can fucking have as many babies as you absolutely want, because then they can possibly serve the Earth government state, chat. That's what we all need. That's what we need right now. And the thing is, chat, like, now we need more of these citizens now than ever, okay? Because we have a new threat in the galaxy, chat, the goddamn bugs. And they're on the planet, who gives a shit, Tad? They call it like the shitty bug planet. They call it like Fedalia or something like that. It's like, sounds foreign. As in sound like a good old-fashioned all-American Earth Gov planet. Get the fuck out of here. We gotta blow up those bugs. We gotta take them out, chat. And what the bugs have been doing for all these years, because apparently, chat, it's hinted at throughout the movie that, you know, humanity is continuing to colonize the galaxy, chat, and take all the resources. And the bugs are very much concerned. Thank you, Darkslayer 5 days. Come on, you apes. You want to live forever? Hey, Chris Jack. Good to see you, Darkslayer. Hope you're doing very well. Good to have the sex. You can have all the sex, but you can't make a baby. You can't make the baby without the specific license and ticketing services of EarthGov. You can't do it, Chad. You just can't do it. Unless you become a citizen and join the military for 2 years. But the thing is, the bugs apparently have been so concerned about humanity's colonization. We gotta wipe these fuckers out. And so with the bugs, Chad, even though they're like, oh, the bugs, they're stupid. Like, they don't have the weapons like us. They don't have fucking guns or starships or anything. But you know what the bugs do have, Chad? Asteroids. And apparently, Chad, around their stupid bug nasty planet, they have this giant asteroid belt, Chad. You know, that gives them for some reason unlimited asteroids. I don't know. And they shoot these asteroids at our colonies and Earth all the time. But Chad, we have Earth Defense Forces, and we're able to blast these asteroids, no problem. We can beat back these stupid, dumb bugs. We're all doing our part, Chad. That's the best thing about it. You know, we can't wait, but we got to take it to the bugs. We got to destroy their homeworld, all right? They're affecting our way of life and the colonization efforts of EarthGov. That can't happen. But, Chad, you know, like, but so we learned the overall premise of the movie, you know, what the state of the world is, chat. It's all about fascism and serving the police state. But let's go ahead and see what the citizens, no, not even the citizens, chat, the civilians of the world think. And we cut to a classroom, chat. We cut to a classroom with Michael Ironside with the fakest looking stump in the world, chat. I love it. So Michael Ironside, he plays both a teacher and a lieutenant in this movie who fights the bugs in the stupid bug planet. And he's basically telling all the kids, you know what's great? You know what's great? Fascism. You know what sucks? Democracy, a republic. Who fucking needs it? No, you need to sacrifice in order to get the rights that you deserve. And the only way that you deserve them is if you join the military. That's what you got to do. And all these very handsome, Aryan-looking people, chat, beautiful-looking Aryan people, they're all sitting in the class and they're listening to what Michael Ironside is saying. Some of them are just being very dismissive. Darkseid, look at the 5 biddies. That's funny because the arachnids were nowhere even close to them and weren't even threatening them until the humans attacked. Exactly, Darkslayer, exactly. Yeah, see, that's what you gotta. I love how because the movie's like, well, why are they attacking you? It's because they're colonizing the entire thing and drain all the resources on the bugs. Are like, we can't negotiate with these fucks. We gotta get rid of them. And the bugs are kind of right in the end, chat. In the end, it's kind of funny when we're just like, oh shit, this is like, wow, this is more complicated than I thought. But you know, he's walking around, he's talking about the virtues of fascism and everything. And I love it, chat, because he has like a fake prosthetic arm right here. Like it's a little stub. But it's obvious that he's tucked his arm inside of his pants. Because whatever reason, I know Michael Ironside has gained weight in years, chat. But back in the 90s, he looked good. And for whatever reason, he's like super wide in this scene. Just kind of walking around and shit. And later in the movie, he's actually looks pretty, you know, it's not I wouldn't say he's, you know, fat or anything. But he's slimmer. He's slimmer, but it's like, okay, I see what you did there. He couldn't even tie it behind his back or something. He's like, no, it's just tucked it right into his pants, just walking around like this. And of course, we're introduced to our first character. Casper Van Dyne plays the character of Rico, chat, Johnny Rico. And the only thing of like most of the characters in this film, chat, honestly, other than fascism and serving the glorious state, the only thing that's on their mind is the D. They're all thinking about the dicks and the pussy they want, chat. That's all they desire. That's the only thing they want. They want to have the hot, sweaty sex. All of them. Doesn't matter the sexual orientation, chat, or the gender. It's just like they want to all, they're horny as hell. They want to make babies, okay? But it's hard because they're all civilians and not citizens, Chad. That's all. Because Rico, he's not even paying attention when what Michael Ironside's talking about the glories of fascism. He is just drawing himself and his girlfriend, Chad, Denise Richards, smooching. Just smooching, chat. And apparently they all have these tablets. So it kind of predicted the future, chat, since we're using tablets in the classroom right now. I see what you did there. Paul Verhoeven, predicting the future. And you can share all this material with all your friends. And he sends the picture to Denise Richards, who's like, look at it, and goes, oh, it's so cute. And she makes her own modifications. Meanwhile, chat, there's another very horny person sitting behind Johnny Rico, and her name is Dizzy. And chat, all she wants is the D. That's what motivates her. I mean, Johnny Rico, what motivates him is Denise Richards, which is like not a great motivation. But Dizzy, she just wants that Johnny Rico D. And she is so thirsty in this movie. She's like, I will die for that D. And that might happen. That might happen later on in the movie. I just think it was so funny. All the reason why most of the characters end up in the situation that they're in the movie, fighting these fucking bugs on the stupid, dumb bug planet, is because they just want to have sex with each other. And I was making so if I was one of the people who was observing this in this, someone's like, Jesus Christ, just fuck each other at this point, and then go home. You shouldn't even be here. You are here for the absolute wrong reasons, Chad. It's like Jesus Christ. Because she is just lusting after him. And, Michael Ironside's like, why should you serve a fascist state? And Denise Richards like, I don't know, I just want to be a pilot. Like, her whole motivation, she just wants to be a pilot. That's all that Denise Richards does in the movie. That's the only thing that she wants. She doesn't even want Johnny Richards. She's the one person, I'll give her this. She doesn't want the D. I mean, she'll accept the D when she wants it, chap, but she's like, I can have it or I cannot have it, and I'm good. What she wants desperately, Chet, is just wants to be a pilot for the fascist police state. That's really it. Thank you, Dark Side of the 5 Days. We wouldn't have a movie if they just fucked right. Exactly. If they just fucked her off the bat and they just married and had a bunch of babies. That's it. But no, like the fact that these people all want something different, most of it is sex. But Denise Richards is the inciting character that sets all this off because she wants to serve her fascist police state, Chad. She wants to be a pilot. And Michael Ironside asked her, why should we serve a fascist police state? She's like, I don't know, I just want to be a pilot. Johnny Rico says, because in order to the reason why so many people want to join a fascist police state is because we want the rights of a citizen. In order to obtain those rights, we need to sacrifice for them. He's like, that is correct, Johnny Rico. That is correct. But he's like, do you believe it? Do you believe it, Johnny Rico? And Johnny Rico goes, I don't know. And he's like, he doesn't know, Chad, because the only thing he wants is Denise Richards. So he doesn't know. He can give a shit less about voting rights and the ability to procreate, Chad. He just wants to sex up Denise Richards. They leave class, chat. Dizzy, who's just, I want to fuck you. There's always right behind him, chat, just creeping on him constantly and openly in front of Denise Richards. All the goddamn time, chat. Like, she's always throwing herself in front of him or, like, locking her arm with his. And even though Denise Richards is right on the other arm, he's just like, and he pretty much, but the thing is, I'll give Johnny Rico this. He says, listen, Dizzy, I just want to be friends. Okay, he's up front with her at first, but she's like, you mean friends, which can possibly lead to like a romance? He's like, no. Like, she's a crazy fucking stalker, chat. And she will literally go to the ends of the earth just to fucking fuck him. Okay? But, they're leaving. They leave their class for the day. And Johnny Rico's like, hey, Michael Ironside, I really want to thank you for the help. He's like, no problem, Johnny Rico. And they leave. And they're outside, chat. Who meets up with them, chat? Fucking Doogie Howser, chat. Neil Patrick Harris, who was starting to come back in the film during this time, chat. Throughout the 90s and the early 2000s shit. Obviously, his big point of like, the revitalization of his career wasn't Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, chat, but he did have a minor role in Starship Troopers, chat. He's kind of in the first act and then not really again until like the very end of the third act. It's very weird why they got him in this movie. But he's very good friends with Denise Richards and Johnny Rico, chat, and they're all going to they have this kind of like student center area, chat, outside. They all live in Buenos Aires, by the way, and most of the people who now live in Buenos Aires, chat, are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan-looking people. And again, chat, As you know, or somebody may not know, after World War II, chat, you had many Nazis and Nazi war criminals escape from Germany and all around Europe, chat, and also Africa. And they went to one specific location. Some were recruited by the Soviets, some were recruited by the United States, brought over. Nazis put us on the moon, chat. That's a fact. You know, a lot of Nazis worked on our space program. But those that did not go with a lot of the superpowers, Chad, or France or England or what have you, a lot retired in Buenos Aires, Chad. And you actually have communities, segregated communities in Argentina, Chad, which are all filled with blue-eyed, blonde-haired, German-speaking people. I wonder why. And a lot of the people in this movie, Chad, are like, they've taken over Buenos Aires. Yes, you'll see some, brown people in the film. There are, Chad. But if you look around, like, the major demographic is white people. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. But they're looking at all their test scores, and Denise Richards, she's like, I wonder what I got on my math test, and she gets a 97%. She's like, yeah, I did. I'm going to be a pilot. She's so excited about being a pilot, chat. And now Johnny Rico's like, I'm going to look at my math test. And this is where they established that Johnny Rico's a fucking idiot. Because all he does, Shay, doesn't think of his brain at all. Thinks of his dick. Because he checks his math score, 25% moron. Jesus Christ. And Neil Patrick Harris just fucking makes fun of him, chat. As he should, as he obviously should. But Dizzy's like, I don't care about that big brain, Johnny Rico. I just care about that D. She cares about that big D, chat. And he's like, I'm with Denise Richards, okay? I really don't want to, I don't, Dizzy, please. And she's like, okay, I'll see you next time. And it's like, oh, God damn it. Also, chat, Johnny Rico, he does a lot of bonding with Neil Patrick Harris. It's established that Neil Patrick Harris is a psychic. He has a ferret who he communicates with and often sends up his mother's leg because there's a bug like near her hoo-ha, chat. And he always does that, and the mom gets very annoyed. And he tries to, it's like, hey, let's test Johnny Rico and see if he's psychic. And he's not, chat, because he's got a stupid brain. And, it's kind of interesting how they set up, like, we have this psychic program that all the scientists in EarthGov have been trying to establish, chat. And apparently, Neil Patrick Harris is one of the star students of Buenos Aires College, chat. Wawa-weewa. Thank you. The 5 minutes, the big brain bug wouldn't suck anything out of it. Nope. Nothing's going to be sucked out of Johnny Rico's head by the big brain bug. No, he's like, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. That dick, on the other hand, woo! And so they're testing all this shit. And, Neil Patrick Harris, like, it's clearly, he's like, well, you know what I'm going to do? Jerry was like, what are you going to do? Well, as you all know, Denise Richards, she's going to join EarthGov Forces as the pilot. That's what her whole life's about. I think I'm going to also join military service, see what I could possibly get. Maybe, join, the scientist branch or something, military science. He goes, that's cool. What about you, Johnny Rico? Well, he's like, oh, I didn't really want to join EarthGov, but now that Denise Richards is going to be a pilot, I'm going to do that because, chat, the reason why he joins the EarthGov Defense Forces or whatever is because of Denise Richards. He loves her. He wants to have the hot, sweaty sex of her, chat. That's the only goddamn reason. That's it. And he goes to tell his parents that, chat. Apparently, it's great. Even though he failed all of his courses, chat, it's like, well, you're, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and pretty. You're going to go through life easy, man. You pass. That's fucking bullshit. But he passes, chat, somehow, even though he got a 35 on, or 25 on his math test. No. And he's graduating, chat. And he's got his whole suit on, everything like that. His mom's like, oh, you look so handsome and everything. But the thing is, he has something to tell his parents, something to tell his folks. He wants to join the EarthGov forces. And Dad's like, we don't want you to do that, okay? Dad's very adamant about that. Did you want to just throw your fucking life away, for some broad? And he's like, I love her. I love Denise Richards. Like, you're going to come to regret that, Rico. He will, Chad, later on in the movie. And he's like, I'm going to go to prom. And Dad's like, listen, just think it over, okay? Listen, you're going to go to Harvard. I'm going to stay in Harvard. I know you're a fucking moron, but I have a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money as a civilian. He's like, you're a civilian. He's like, there's nothing wrong with being a civilian. Maybe I want to serve a fascist police state. And he's like, oh, how dare you? You should die for the fascist police state. And he leaves Jack. He's very upset. Thank you, Emerald, for the 5 biddies. I'm getting this confused with Gattaca. No, yeah, this is Starship. I've actually never seen Gattaca. I'm not familiar with Gattaca. So, I'm interested to see if this actually has any similarities. Thank you, for the 5 biddies. A typical high school room. Yeah, exactly. Thinking of his dick. He's like, I love her. She's my everything. I have to base every decision I ever do on her. It's like, no, it's really, do it for yourself, man. Do this for yourself. And he promptly does not do that. So we go to prom chat, and it's zip. This is very much a 90s-esque prom. Frosted tips. Everyone has all the guys chat, including Jake Busey, who's not in the movie yet, chat. Everyone has frosted tips. It was like, yeah, this is very 90s. I know this is supposed to take place in like the 22nd century or something, but this is like, this is a very 90s movie. Everyone's fucking dancing shit. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's drinking very cheap apple teeny shit. It's a fucking prom. Why they got fucking alcohol over the place? It doesn't make any. Why is it? Like, they say it's a prom, then they also say it's a graduation ceremony, which is fucking weird. You're going back and forth. Which one is this? So I think they may have messed up their dialogue in some places, Jeff. But, I forgot. There's actually one more class after they go to Michael Ironside's class, chat. We see some of the bug physiology, chat. And there is this creepy as fuck German Nazi Joseph Mengele woman, chat. And she is like, we must examine the bugs to see what is inside them. And she has like these horrific burns on her face, chat. And she has these glasses on. Like, I think she's blind. She's moving around. So apparently she opened like one of these bug carcasses one time, and all the splooge just went on her face and melted half of her face, chat. She's like a Two-Face, chat, except it covers her whole face. She's like, ah! It looks very creepy. And she's like moving around the goddamn room. He's like, you must examine the bugs, to see what is inside them. And Denise Richards, chat, she's not like, doing these dissections of the bug. She can't handle it, chat. And she does like this really. I got like a little bit of an issue, chat, like vomiting scenes in movies. Like, they're not gross to me or anything like that, but I like a good vomiting scene, chat, realistic vomiting scene, chat. And this one was not realistic. Denise Richards could not sell this, chat. It just looked like she had a little bit of oatmeal in her mouth, went bleh. It was like, that wasn't good. I want to see I want to see spray. I want to see projectile liquid spray, chat. And all I got was a little vomit, little oatmeal vomit. And she vomits inside the bug, and it's gross because Jerry goes like, look what you did. My hands are covered in bug juices and your vomit. And she runs out of the room, and Dizzy laughs like, ha, 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 ha. I can be your lab partner, Johnny. And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm just gonna play around with the vomit. And that's all he cares about. And then we get the scene where he's talking with parents and shit. Eventually, we are then at the prom/graduation chat, and Denise Richards, she's there with Johnny Rico, and they're kind of dancing and everything, having a goddamn good time. And she goes, "Oh, I just gotta tell you, I'm going to join the military fascist police state as a pilot." He goes, "No shit, that's the first time you're actually telling me this." It's not, Chad. She's told him at least 3 times so far in the movie. But Johnny Rico, again, he's not that smart. He's not that bright, so you got to repeat yourself occasionally with him. He's got that short-term memory, chat. And she goes, I'm going to go get some drinks. I'll be right back. And Jerry goes like, that's cool. And then he finds Michael Ironside, who's also at the party. He's like, hello, fellow kids. And he's trying to dance, chat, but it's awkward because Michael Ironside, he's a good actor, chat, but he does not have the rhythm. He does not have that 22nd century fascist rhythm like these other kids do. And Johnny Rico just wanted to go up to Michael Ironside and say, hey, I just wanted to thank you for your class this year. It was my favorite class. He's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Rico. He's like, listen, I just have a question. I'm thinking about joining the EarthGov fascist police state. What do you think about that? And Michael Ironside, he's like, yeah, good for you, soldier. But Michael Ironside says, you should do what you want. You should do what makes you feel good about yourself, okay? That's one of the few good things about free will. Free will is a dangerous thing, but you can still make your choice about what you want to be and how you want to serve the fascist police state. So that's on you, Johnny Rico. That's on you. Johnny Rico's like, wow, it's really deep. And it's not. It's not profoundly deep at all. But he's like, I'm going to go back to dance. And Michael Ironside, he leaves the movie for like the next hour and 25 minutes. And he goes on the dance floor, chat. But who shows up, chat? Not Denise Richards, Dizzy. And she's like, hey, Johnny Rico. And he's like right up on him, chat, like just claws around his waist, one around his fucking arm like this. And it's just strutting those hips, chat, just wiggling those hips back and forth, just showing off her stuff, chat, wearing a very low-cut dress, chat, showing a lot of the cleavage on full goddamn display. And she is right on his neck, whispering, chat. He can feel her breath on his neck. And she's like, this might be the last time that we see each other. That's like a phrase that is said throughout this entire movie. It might be the last time we see each other. Like every other scene, chat, every 25 minutes, they say that exact same piece of dialogue. It's weird. It's a weird running gag. And he goes, listen, I just want to be friends with you. I'm with Denise Richards, and she's like, she's gonna be a pilot, Johnny Rico. She's gonna leave you. You'll probably never see her again. And he's like, listen, I just really want to be friends. I'm with Denise Richards, okay? And she goes, okay, Johnny. And she smooches this little surprise, like, stop it. And she runs away. She runs away. And then eventually, Chad, he goes with Denise Richards. And she's like, okay, I'm going to join the military fascist police state tomorrow. What are you going to do? He's like, I've already made my decision. And then, chat, we cut to the home of Johnny Rico, and he is now joining the fascist military police state, chat. But because he's stupid, he can't really, the only program he can really get into is infantry, Chad. You can only get into infantry, and then the infantrymen in in Starship Troopers are looked down upon, Chad. Looked at as the grunts, as expendable as the cannon fodder against the war with the bug shed. Even though there's some very intelligent infantrymen, Chad, like that's the only one that Johnny fucking qualifies for. So that's the one he's going with, and his dad is like so upset. It's like, fine, you're cut off. You're no longer my son. It's like, oh shit, not ending great. I don't even need you, Dad. And then Mom's like, Johnny, listen, your dad's angry. He doesn't mean that, okay? Just really seriously think this over. You're throwing your life away just for some broad, some girl. He's like, I love her, Mom. You don't even know. And then he runs to the recruitment office, chat, where he meets up with Denise Richards and Neil Patrick Harris. And, they're at the little recruitment station, Chad. They filled out their forms. The only one he can get was infantryman. Denise Richards, she hands in her form cut because based on her schoolwork and, her grades and everything, then she's totally good to be a pilot. And he hands it to the guy at the working this desk, chat. He's got a little mechanical arm and shit. And he goes, pilot, yeah, we need more of your kind here. Absolutely. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. And then Neil Patrick, he hands his in. And he's like, holy shit, military science. Well, next time I see you, son, I'll be saluting you. And he's like, yeah, who would have thought I would have gotten it? And he's like, yeah. And then Johnny, he's like, what about you, son? He's like, I can only get infantryman. And he takes it, chat. And he's like, infantryman. It's just, yeah, you and me, brother. He takes Johnny Rico's hand, and Johnny Rico notices the guy's like missing both his fucking arms and both his fucking legs. Shit, he's got like little stubs, and he's like, oh shit. He's like, uh-oh. He's like, yeah, man, we were proud infantrymen. I remember when I went on my first mission. And he looks down his legs and they're gone. It's like, ooh, that's not good. And eventually they all go out into like the main station where they're all going to go in different directions, chat, to the train and shit. And then, Neil Patrick Harris, Denise Richards, and Johnny Rico, they'll make a pact. It's like, we might not ever see each other again, but we should all remain really good friends. And they're like, yeah! And they do like the hands in the middle thing, go, yeah! And Neil Patrick, he goes off, chat, to be a military scientist, and he does not show up until the last 25 minutes of the movie again. Then you know, so the 5 minutes, the mobile infantry made me the man I am today. That's it. And he's like, he is no longer mobile. He's not mobile at all. He has no legs, Chet. The goddamn bugs took my legs, Johnny. So he goes off, but, Johnny Rico's like, only friends, Denise Richards. And she's like, Johnny, and he's like, just say it, Denise Richards. I love you. Say it to me. And she's like, I love you. I'll always be there for you, Johnny. And then she leaves. She's like, yeah. So he thinks after his military service is over, chat, 2 years, him and Denise Richards, they'll be back, have their whole education paid for, they making babies, chat. Everything's going to work out for Johnny, chat, except he is just not prepared for what he's about to face, chat, because he is sent to boot camp. He said the boot camp, the whole bunch of other recruits, such as Jake Busey, chat, who it's like as soon as you see him, like, yep, that is the son of Gary Busey, chat, because all he is teeth and gums, chat. It's like, Jesus Christ, he inherited his father's jaw. And mouth, chat. Even more so, it feels like it's even more pronounced, chat. It's like, are you a human horse hybrid, Jake Busey? I'm not making fun of the guy, chat, but it's very much out there. And he's just he can't close his fucking mouth. He can't do it, chat. It's kind of like, it's always like you see him in scenes, he's just like, he can't. That's as far as it can go, chat. He must get constant dry mouth constantly, chat. But they're all right there, chat. But you know who they're fucking perfect casting for the drill sergeant, chat? goddamn Clancy Brown, Chad. He's out there, and he's telling all these limp dick maggots, and I'm including you too, ladies. It's especially limp for you. He's just going off. He's like, you are here to be infantrymen. You are here to serve the fascist police state of EarthGov, goddammit. And you're going to do your goddamn job. And you get this one guy, this won't stop laughing, because he thinks it's ridiculous what Clancy Brown is saying. He's like, are you laughing at me, son? He's like, no, sir, I'm not laughing at you. And he's like, none of you limp-dit maggots are going to be laughing at me. He's like, ah! And Clancy Brown, he takes out this baton and just starts beating this guy with it. He goes, oh, oh! Just hit him in his thighs. I'm going to hit those thick piggy thighs of yours. He's like, oh, my thighs, no! They're so soft and supple. Not anymore. And he just goes off on him, Chad. All right, Piggy, you're going to run around the whole goddamn complex. And he asks, like, you, Sarge. He's like, yes, sir. He's like, make sure this Piggy runs around the whole complex. He's like, will do, sir. He just hits him with the baton, Chet, in both his thick thighs. Bah, bah, bah. It's like, damn. And then, Chet, he's like, all right. Now, I know we have a couple of badasses among you, I would imagine, even though you look like the sorriest sacks of shit I've ever seen. Now, who here thinks, and he just starts taking off his clothes, and I'm like, what is happening? Who here thinks they can take me? And you have this one guy, Chad, the biggest of them all, says, I think I could take you, sir. And he's like, oh, you farm boy. He's from a farm, Chad. That's what this character is. He's farm boy, Chad. Oh, the farm boy. All right, son, come on, come and take me. And this fucking dumbass just runs right at Clancy Brown, and Clancy Brown just fucking trips him, Chad, and just crushes his goddamn arch, just snaps it like a fucking, just like, just snaps his goddamn arch and twists it. And so, like, the bone, the goddamn bone pops out of the meat, like, multiple times. She's just bleeding through his sweat. He's like, I think he broke my arm. He's like, yes, I did indeed break your arm. Do we have any more badasses here? Also, the running gag is like, medic. And medic comes on over, chat, helps him out. He's like, do we have any more badasses here right now? And Johnny Rico's like, fuck this. I ain't messing with that guy or anything. But then, chat, we see someone coming up behind good old Clancy Brown. And who's behind him, chat? Dizzy. And Johnny Rico's like, wait a minute. And Dizzy locks eyes with Johnny Rico, and she goes, hello, lover. It's like she joined the infantryman unit, chat, so she can get that good D. That's it. That's the reason why she joined. She just wants that good D. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? But the reason, chat, the causality and all of this, chat, the common denominator in this is Denise Richards. Denise Richards wanted to be a pilot, chat. She wanted to serve the fascist police state. Johnny Rico wanted to join the fascist police state in order to have sex with Denise Richards. And Dizzy wanted to join the infantrymen, chat, the fascist police state, in order to have sex with Johnny Rico, chat. It's all the same thing. It's a goddamn effect, chat. Affects all these characters. You can't get rid of me, love. You can't get rid of me, lover. Can. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And the thing is, though, you know, she's very respectful of Clancy Brown and everything. She's like, oh, you're kind of a badass. And he's like, well, why did you come here? And she looks at Johnny Rico like, She goes, I heard that this base has the best Marines and infantrymen in all of the fascist police state. Thank you, Emerald. For the 4 base, good deal will have women going crazy. Apparently, Chip. And he's like, well, you gotta prove it to me, soldier. And she fucking starts stripping, Chad. And she's like, woo. She's like, Dizzy's kind of a badass in the movie. I actually like Dizzy. She's fucking weird. The only reason why she joins because she wanted the D. But she strips down, Chad, and she fucking squares off of Clancy Brown. And she kind of fucks him up a little bit, Chad. She gets some good karate chops in there, some good roundhouse kicks. But Clancy Brown, Chad, he fucking puts her in the goddamn ground eventually, and just kind of like, go to sleep. And he makes her sleep, and she goes to sleep. And then, chat, we're at the barracks and everything. We're at the goddamn barracks. They're all eating all the food, chat, and it's all mush. It's all like brown mush and gray mush and pink mush and purple mush and green mush, chat. The whole fucking rainbow of mush. And they're all eating all this shit. And Dizzy, she's just constantly hitting on Rico, chat. And he's like, listen, did you fucking join just for me? And she just looks at him and just walks away. And it's just like, listen, of course she did. If you think that she joined because she wanted to serve the fascist police state and the infantrymen, then you're an idiot, Johnny Rico. She joined for you. And he's just like, did she join for me, guys? I don't know. It's idiot. Goddamn idiot, chat. Meanwhile, we cut to Neil. We also, there's throughout the movie, chat, it's very similar to RoboCop, where we cut to all these propaganda commercials. showcasing the fascist police state and the technology and just the culture in general. We see like Neil Patrick Harris. He's like, he's working in the military science program. This is one little scene here before he comes in at the end, like the last 25 minutes, saying how in order to destroy the bug, you should not shoot its limbs off. He says even if you shoot some of its limbs off, it still has an 86% combat effectiveness rating. He says always aim for the brain, always aim for the back of the skull. That's where you got to hit it. And he's like showing off all that shit. And then there's this constant propaganda how the bugs are so violent, how it destroys farm animals and things, chat. And that's just kind of like the overall premise. You see like various military figures is like, I have a plan, and the plan fails, and they're like quickly executed afterwards and removed, and a new person takes their place. They have a courtroom drama series, chat, where it's like innocent or guilty, and here the trials of the century, chat, where it's like we have an alleged murderer, and they take this guy out, chat, like it's gonna be an actual trial on live TV or something, and the judge just looks at him and goes, guilty. It's like, we didn't hear the case. It doesn't matter, chat. And then it said execution at 6. Tune in. It's like that kind of thing. It's very, very funny. My parents was emphasizing how Rico is so goddamn dumb in this movie. It was like, Jesus Christ. How you survived, I do not know. But so they got that. Denise Richards, she's kicking ass at being a pilot, chat. She's really good at being a pilot. Also, there's a whole plot line, which is just, it's so annoying to me, where Johnny Rico, the one thing he's good at, chat, is the sports ball. So in school, he loved playing the sports ball, chat. They kind of like this rugby indoor football game. And that's what really got him into, like, past school. He had a scholarship on the sports ball program. Thank you, Dark Side, for the 5 minutes. Charles, just for show. They already have their sentences predetermined. Exactly. The area is like, yep, you're guilty. Thank you, Dark Side, for the 5 minutes. And before a lot of these scenes start happening, chat, Johnny Rico goes one of these sports ball games, and he's competing against this other team, chat. And he has like a rivalry with this other guy named Xander. But Xander, he catches the eye of Denise Richards, chat. He kind of starts bonding with her in between like the game and everything. And Johnny Rico fucking hates Xander because he's like, you don't touch my girl. She's my girl. You don't touch her. And Xander's like, okay, I mean, she can think of her herself. And Denise Richards is very non-committal because she is constantly hanging out with Xander through a good portion of the movie, especially early on. And it's just fucking, dance. She's dancing with him at the party, too, and everything, chat. That's one of the things that distracted Denise Richards. He's like, whatever. But Xander, apparently, chat, he also joined the pilot program, part of the fascist military police state, and he's working with Denise Richards, chat, and they're going out on their first big goddamn delivery mission because Denise Richards, she's always wanted to fly one of these giant capital level ships, and they're bonding over this and everything. And literally, it's obvious, like, Xander's like, no, I'm going to be your commanding officer, even though it's obvious he just wants to fuck her. Like, the reason why again, this is so stupid, is because of fucking Denise Richards. The reason why he joined the program, chat, is because he wants to have sex with Denise Richards. She is the inciting incident in this movie, chat. It's like, why? So many lives could have been saved, chat, if she just didn't join the fascist police state and wanted to be a pilot. I don't want to be a pilot, clearly, because you don't care about anyone else but yourself. But, I mean, that she thought of something other than sex, chat. She at least joined for the quote-unquote right reasons. And so she's always hanging out with Xander, chat. And, Denise Richards, she's, like, always kind of playing, like, things, like, kind of, like, loose, though. Because when she's flying these ships, she's almost like hitting stuff, but she's really just really good at it. Like, she's able to dodge all these goddamn other vehicles and asteroids and things. And even though her military commander, chat, she's like, but she's like, goddamn, I see you. You're just having fun. I get you. Yeah, then they take it a little easier on the pilots, chat, part of the fascist military police state. The infantrymen are treated a little rougher, of course. But eventually, chat, we cut back to the training of Johnny Rico, and he's like, it's been pretty goddamn rough for everybody here, but, he's starting to make friends with people, chat. There's this one scene in the movie where they're all the people share the same shower room, chat, male and female. So you're just seeing penises and vagina and bazungas, chat, all out in there. And it's like, Jesus Christ. To do a scene like this must have been really, really weird. Never seen something like that. But like, now you can't have sex. Only the fascist police state can tell you when you have sex. So you bazungas and peen can all be out there. Control yourselves. And they're all like in the shower room. And we find out, we ask all these questions. All these people are asking this one main question, like, why did you join the infantrymen? And they're all going, well, I want to be a politician and have at least 2 years of military experience. That's great for the voters. You have this one woman says, I just want to have babies. Because, chat, you learn if you join the military, and you become a citizen, not a civilian, you become a citizen, you have special benefits and perks. You're able to basically have all the babies you want, as opposed to a civilian where it's very much controlled, chat, by the police state. But you can have all the babies you want after you join the military service. You have other people who are just like, I just did it to serve the fascist police state. And it was like, Jenny Rico, why did you do it? And then Dizzy walks in, and she goes, he did it for a girl. And he's like, God damn it, Dizzy. And he walks out, chat, and they all slap his ass, all the women and guys just slapping his ass and chat. And man, I'll give him this, Casper Van Dyne chat. He's got a good ass in this movie. He definitely does, because they're slapping that goddamn thing, looking good. And they all look at Dizzy. He's like, are you that girl, Dizzy? And she goes, maybe. And she knows she's not, but she just wants to fuck with him anyway. Dark Side of the Five Base. Chris O'Donnell in this too. Batman got sick of Robin Olsen. Chris O'Donnell's in this movie? What? They agreed to the shower scene naked if Paul was naked too. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I didn't know he was in this movie. I must have missed Chris O'Donnell in the film. Clay playing on the bongos, playing the bazungas, everything. No, they were slapping each other's asses and breasts, and that must have been a crazy scene in the film. But again, Dizzy, just being fucking weird, manipulating Jenny Rico the entire time. But, well, you know, because of Johnny Rico's skills, chat, of, you know, being a good old infantryman, he gets, you know, promoted. He is now a squad leader. He is now squad leader, chat. He's got a fine military career ahead of him, chat. But even you get, again, these wonderful training sequences where, for one scene, they're trained with knives. And like throwing knives at these targets and everything. And Jake Busey, chat, he sucks at it. He's like, Clancy Brown, why do we gotta keep throwing these goddamn knives? We have fucking nuclear weapons. They have like nuclear grenades, chat, and shit. Nuclear grenade launchers. It's like, why do we need these? And Clancy Brown is just like, you're asking me why we need to have these knives? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, stand at that wall, Jake Busey. He goes, yeah, okay. And he stands at the wall. He goes, lift up your hand. And he goes, I don't want to do this. He's like, lift up your hand, soldier. You're in violation of my direct order. He goes, okay. And Clancy Brown grabs the knife and goes, foo! And it goes right in the fucking Jake Busey. He's like, just screaming. He's just like, now you'll notice. Can you use that hand to throw a grenade or to push a button of a nuclear weapon? Jake Busey's like, no, sir. He goes, I didn't think so. Medic. So it was a good lesson. It was a very good lesson, Jeff. Again, Clancy Brown is a fucking badass in this movie, Chet. He does so many great scenes with him in the film. I wish he was in it more, Chet. He's in the first act, and then in the very tail. He's like the hero of the movie. In the end, it's weird. Like, he actually becomes the hero at the end of the film for what he actually does. It's crazy to me. But anyway, so because of all the, Johnny Rico's skills in the battlefield, chat, especially with Dizzy, apparently, chat, even though he's scared to death of Dizzy and how horny she is, how thirsty she is, they're actually really good on the battlefield, chat. Love is a battlefield, to quote Metal Gear Solid, of course. They're acing all their tests, chat. When they lead their soldiers, they're killing it. And then, shall we see fucking Dean Norris? Dean Norris is in the goddamn movie. I forgot he was here, chat. A very young Dean Norris. And he's best friends with Clancy Brown. Dean Norris is kind of like the head of this military fort, chat, the fascist police state. And he's like, okay, let's get the fucking kid a squad. Let him do his thing. And I was like, yay. And so they're going to do their big training exercise tomorrow, chat, with live rounds, okay? Because they got to go fight the goddamn bugs, all right? And you got to be prepared to fight the goddamn bugs. So eventually, Chad, we're in the barracks and everything. And, Johnny Rico, he's been sending all these messages to Denise Richards and saying, it's great here, but I really miss you and I love you. And Denise Richards, she's finally sent back a message to Johnny Rico. He goes, yeah, Denise Richards. And she sent him one back, Chad. It looks like she's always in these messages. She's not wearing a bra. And it looks like she's always just about to take off her shirt to just reveal everything to, because they haven't seen each other like a year or something. And he's like, ooh, and you get everybody watching, Chad, all his male and female bunkmates. He's like, woo, Johnny, woo, Johnny. And Denise Richards is like, Johnny, I have so many things I want to tell you. I'm just so excited. She's like bouncing, Chad, so her boobs are always bounding, and they're going, yeah, man. She's just being a fucking tease to him. It's like, this place is just so wonderful. I'm finally a pilot. I'm finally able to fly these capital class ships. It is so great. But then Chad's like, when she's about to take off her shirt, like someone comes in the room, it's like, oop, she had to turn off the camera. Then she's like, I would like to show you the universe. And she shows all the planets. Isn't it beautiful, Johnny? And it's because of the beauty of this universe and serving the fascist police state that I must now tell you, I want this to be my life and career. And this is how Denise Richards is talking in the fucking movie, chat. She is monotone as hell. She says, I'm going to be a career woman. And that is why, Johnny Rico, I must break up with you. And he's like, what? And it's like, and she has the fucking gall to say, despite us breaking up, it's like it's, oh, because like, you know, even though she's like, we're breaking up. No, it's like, no, she's breaking up with him. She says, I hope we can remain friends. Anyway, bye. And she fucking, like, and the message ends. And he goes, ooh, and everyone in the bunk is like, ooh. That's not great. I don't need no man. That's exactly what it was. It's like, ugh, that's not good. But Jake Busey, even though, like, him and Johnny Rico have kind of been at odds at some time, this is when Jake Busey becomes a really good friend. And he sits down, he's like, listen, man, fuck that broad. You gotta do what you want to do. But fucking, it's hilarious because Johnny Rico admits to Jake Busey, the reason why I joined was for her. And he goes, oh, dude, why'd you do that? I just wanted to join to kill stuff in the fascist police state. Woo! And he fucking goes off. He's like, I made a bad decision. And Dizzy, who's watching chat from like all the way down the barracks chat, goes, my time has come. She's just so happy about this. She's like, yeah, I'm going to get that D. Woo, that sweet D. So she's very excited. But, chat, it's the day of the big military exercise with the live rounds. All right? And Johnny Rico, he is leading his troops into battle against papier-mâché figurines, chat. Not bugs. Papier-mâché figurines. And everything's going pretty good, chat, except for the one derpy guy. Remember that guy who thought he could take on Clancy Brown, chat? He's farm boy. He's like, my helmet don't work. It keeps falling down on my eyes. And, Johnny Rico's like, so give me your helmet. I'll fix your helmet. He goes, just take it off. And he goes, here, I don't know why it keeps falling down. And you have this one soldier, chat. I forget her name. I think her name is Erica or something. And she says, God damn it, you idiot. He's like, I'm not dumb. My helmet don't fit. And she slips, though, chat. She slips. She goes, whoa. And she lands on her hand, chat. She accidentally pulls the trigger, and she blows the farm boy's head right off. Just explodes everywhere, chat. And then Johnny Rico's like, oops. And then the last time we hear it, chat, medic as a gag. And then Chadwick, and fucking farm boy's dead, and you're not gonna scoop his fucking brain matter and skull back into his head and go, there we go, that's fine. Actually, Chad, he was useless. He was useless in life and useless in death. He was worth the same amount no matter what. And then, chat, Johnny Rico is forced to report to Dean Norris's office, and Dean Norris is upset because you killed a stupid guy. You killed the stupid guy, and we also lost another Marine because we see in the outside window, chat, the Marine has been dishonorably discharged for firing your weapon at your fellow Marine. She's like, I'm sorry. And so she's going to live her life as a civilian. She has a civvy. Bah, disgusting. We only like citizens here, Johnny Rico. And I've lost 2 Marines because of you. And I would definitely dishonorably discharge you if I could. But Clancy Brown, he supports you. He likes you, Johnny Rico. And Clancy Brown does. He's like, despite this mistake, I still think we can make a Marine out of him. He has these leadership tendencies. He just fucked up. He just fucked up. And he's like, I've taken this under advisement because I trust Clancy Brown with my life, okay? So we're just going to give you some administrative punishment, chat. And the administrative punishment is to march the entire goddamn base outside, chat, all in full uniform, and to strip Johnny Rico down to his birthday suit, completely naked, fucking dick, balls, ass cheeks just hanging out there, chat, just waving in the goddamn wind, to strip him, to tie him to a goddamn post, chat, and to just whip the shit out of him. 10 lashes, administrative punishment, chat. And Clancy Brown, he's like, listen, I've gone through this before too, so don't you worry. My back looks like fucking awful. It looks like a goddamn Vincent Van Gogh painting with the amount of weird shit on it there. And he's like, bite down this, gives him like a piece of wood to bite down, it'll help. And they just start whipping the shit, and the wood comes out. He goes, yeah, because it hurts so goddamn much, chat. But despite the administrative punishment, chat, Johnny Rico, he just feels so much anger and regret over, obviously, the death of the dumb farm boy guy. and the other soldier, but also he's angry at Denise Richards, and he thinks like, I did this for the absolutely wrong reasons. I got to get out of here. And Jake Busey's just like, we're gonna miss you, Johnny. And Dizzy's like, no, now is my chance. And she's like, listen, before you go, can we at least have? Can we at least? She's like, no, I don't want to have the sex with you, Dizzy. She's like, oh, then fuck you, man, fuck you. I'll get it somewhere else. And she's like, Jake Busey, and he's like, yeah, all right, not into you. God damn it. Nothing's going great. But he gets one phone call before he leaves the base, Chad, so he decides to call his parents because he needs them to pick him up from the military base, and he calls them all the way in. They're living in Buenos Aires, Chad, in Buenos Aires, and he's like, hey, Mom, hey, Dad. And they're like, oh, son. And the dad's like, listen, I'm sorry that I said you're not my son and that I would cut you off. We really want you to come home. And he's like, I've made the decision to come home. I made a mistake. And he's like, you didn't make a mistake. You thought you were doing the right thing. And I respect you, son. I have a lot of respect for you. Your mom loves you and respects you. We want you to come home, though. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's getting really dark outside because all of a sudden, Chad, this giant, like this thing is this blanketing, we don't know what it is, but all of a sudden where they are, it's just this giant shadow. And they're like, is that rain? Ah! And then it just cuts and he goes, that seemed very ominous. And he leaves. He's starting to leave, Chat. Meanwhile, we cut back to Denise Richards, Chat, and her new friend, who is also a boy, Xander, Chat. Apparently they're doing rounds per night. Because someone has to be on deck no matter what, as they're transporting stuff to various facilities around the EarthGov fascist police state colonies, and so someone has to be there, Chad. But oh no, shit! Because apparently there's a giant fucking meteor coming towards them, Chad, that was launched by the bugs. They're like, oh Jesus God, the bugs! And so they managed to take emergency protocols, Chad, and they managed to dodge the giant meteorite, Chad, the asteroid. Part of the ship is damaged, though, but because of Denise Richards' skill, Chat, and the course she charted, she manages to save everyone aboard. And then she's like, special commendation. You're a great goddamn pilot. She's like, I always wanted to be a pilot. And he's like, we know that, Denise Richards. We know that's your character arc. But then, Chat, he's like, okay, well, I hope that asteroid doesn't have any impact anywhere else. Get it? And so we cut back to Johnny Rico, Chat, and he's leaving the base. But everyone's like, oh, shit, did you hear? He's like, did you hear what? And he's like, come on, we're going to war. We're going to fucking war, man. Woo! And they all go over to the TVs, Chat. Apparently, Chat, that asteroid that passed over Denise Richards and Xander and all them people, it hit fucking Buenos Aires, Chat. And Buenos Aires and most of Argentina is destroyed. And Johnny Rico's like, wait a minute, Mom and Dad live in Buenos Aires. Oh no, my mom and dad are dead. They're dead, Chad. Everyone he ever knew is fucking dead. Everyone's gone, Chad. All of his friends there who went to prom/graduation, everyone's on the sports ball team, dead, Chad. And now this is the motivation he needed, though, Chat. He's not thinking with the D, Chat. He's thinking with his heart, with righteous anger, and how much he wants to kill those goddamn bugs, Chat. He wants revenga. And he goes to Dean Norris and says, I don't want to leave. I want to join the infantrymen. And he's like, no, man, no. You fucking signed your thing, okay? You got to leave. He's like, I don't want to do that. My family was in Buenos Aires. I got to avenge them. And, Clancy Brown, he's just like, I see the fighting spirit in you, soldier. And he's like, Johnny Rico, do you recognize your signature on this leave form? And he goes, yeah. And Clancy Brown goes, no, you fucking idiot. And he rips it up. He's like, I don't recognize. Johnny Rico's like, am I going to be an infantryman? Hell yeah, you are. Woo! So he's very excited about this, Chat. You're going to fucking war. Can't wait to do it, Chat. And him and Jake Busey and Dizzy and some other characters who are basically red shirts are all celebrating. Very fun. We're having a good time. They're going to be going off to war, Chat. And they're getting ready to leave. They're all entering the capital ships and stuff. And Jake Busey's like, we should all get fucking tattoos, guys. We got to get tattoos. Woo! And everyone's like, yeah, fucking tattoos. Very, very excited, very excited. But then who does he meet in the big crowd of people, Chad? Is everyone's like, all the various divisions of the fascist military police state are meeting up, Chad. And who does he see in this crowd of people? Fucking Denise Richards, Chad. She goes, hello, friend Johnny Rico. And he goes, that was really fucked up what you did. She's like, why, Johnny? The only thing is, as I've always told you, that I really want to become was a pilot. He's like, I know you want to become a pilot. I get it, okay? But what about me? What about my feelings for you? And she's like, I'm sorry. I just love I know you love being a pilot. I get it. And then Xander comes over. He's like, I'm sorry, Johnny Rico. She's with me now. And she's like, I'm kind of not. Actually, you don't really know. Xander wants to fuck Denise Richards so bad in this movie, but I don't know if he ever gets the opportunity to. I don't think he does. mean, it's very obvious that he wants to. And because he wants to, and Johnny Rico wants to, this causes the two of them to butt heads, chat. And even though Xander's like, because Xander's like a higher rank, he's like a lieutenant than Johnny Rico, who is very much a private. And he says, you know what, forget ranks, man. Let's fucking fight. And they start fighting in the mess hall, chat, beating the shit out of each other. And Denisha's just like, guys, stop fighting over me. And Dizzy's just sitting there in the corner going, I wish they were fighting over me. Just pissed off at Denisha. He's like, I'll fucking get you, bitch. And they basically pulled each other away. They're like, hey, man, come on, let's not fight, okay? Let's save that fighting courage for the goddamn bugs. Woo, kill the bugs. And they all get matching tattoos, Chad. Like, oh, isn't that great? Isn't that great? Having a good goddamn time. Eventually, Chad, we arrive at the bug planet, and I love it because they cut back and forth to like all the news channels from Earth in between these scenes, and we have this very Fox News-esque channel where it's all like, well, the bugs clearly are not intelligent. We all know this. It's a fact. And we have this one scientist comes on. He's like, actually, I represent the military science division. The bugs are in fact very intelligent, and we probably don't know what type of technology they have on their world. We've only encountered a bit of it, but we're based on our studies of their physiology and brains. We've realized they're probably just as intelligent, if not more so than us. And the news anchor is like, I disagree, and I find that offensive. That's what it is. That's what ends the debate. I'm offended at that. So therefore, your facts are wrong. Move aside. More than 11, execution. This man was guilty for protesting. How dare he protest this wonderful fascist military police state? Watch his execution live on television. And so eventually, Chad, we cut to one of these military guys, like, our plan to attack the stupid bugs, because we feel that we don't trust the military science division, them and their science and facts. No, we're just going to do a full frontal assault. The bugs are stupid. We got this. We've passed the asteroid field, just full frontal assault. And we're like, okay, hope this works. And so then we have all these giant troop transports going down the planet, have these capital ships, but all of a sudden they're getting, like, there's these giant, like, blue, like, lasers coming from the surface of the planet, like these kind of like catapults or whatever, like these glowing blue balls of fire. And they're hitting the spaceships, Chad, the capital ships, and it's like ion cannons or something. And they're disabled, Chad, and they're all crashing into each other. It's like, oh, that's not good. So they were very much wrong, Chad. You should listen to science and facts. The bugs are indeed intelligent, and they do have advanced warfare, Chad, advanced weapons and technology. Wait until you find out where these giant blasts of light are coming from, Chad. It's actually quite funny. And so all the transports are smashing into each other, Chad. But Johnny Rico's transport, it does get down there, Chad. And we get one of the big, action scenes of the film, Chad, where all the Marines get out there. They just start blasting the bugs. Now, Jake Busey, he's been put in charge over Johnny Rico, but he's a fuck-up. He doesn't know, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And Johnny Rico's like, Marines, follow me. And they're all going out there, Chad, blasting bugs. But they've underestimated the size of the bug force. And this is where we get some really fucking graphic, bloody scenes, Chad. We get this one guy who's like, woo, I'm so excited to serve the fascist police state, woo. And he gets his leg lopped off. He's like, oh, my leg. And the bugs just, impales him and just throws him. He's like, I'm still alive. And they all fucking just eat him. And he just gets torn apart, Chad. This causes Jake Busey to go, oh, Jesus. We have this one girl, Chad. It's like, I just want to have babies. Like, that's what she wanted to do. That's why she joined the Marines. She's like, fuck this. I just want babies. And she runs away. And because of Chad, she defied the orders of the military fascist police state. She is horrifically murdered, Chad, by a bug, which rips her in fucking two. It's like, Jesus Christ. Right down the middle, Chad. Right down the middle, Chad. Starting from hoo-ha all the way to the tip of the head. It's like, God damn, that's rough. And now we got a full retreat. And also, Chad, we cut to the earlier part of the movie where they have this, it's being filmed footage. Like, we are on the surface of the bug planet. This horrible, stupid, dumb bug planet with all the gross stuff. And then we see the reporter get eaten alive. Chase split in two, and they're all feast on his guts and stuff. Now we see it from the perspective of the soldier, Chad, where we see that same reporter as he's just horrifically eviscerated. And Johnny Rico, he's trying to help the cameraman, chap. He gets fucked up, too. Oh, a lot of Johnny Rico's friends are dead. If you weren't Dizzy and or Jake Busey in this scene, and you were a friend of Johnny Rico, you are now fucking dead. Horrifically murdered, Chad. Just disemboweled and just feasted upon the many bugs on the bug planet. Johnny Rico, he's like with the last guy, tries to help the cameraman, chat, shoots in this one bug, chat. You gotta just hit the back of the head, Johnny Rico, the back of the head. And he does, chat, but the bug still has a little bit of life left. And he goes, "Nyah," and it goes right into that thick Johnny Rico Aryan thigh, chat. And he goes, "Nyah," and he has to lift it up out of his thigh, chat. A lot of the gore effects here are really good. And he's like, "Oh, fucking shit, that's not good." And chat, like these waves of bugs are coming upon him. He's like, "No!" And he starts shooting them, chat. And we cut, hard goddamn cut. And we get this military footage, chat, this newsreel footage. Apparently 100,000 brave souls perished on the first hour, chat. 100,000 died. And we learned that apparently military officials were uninformed by the science division. And it's like, and we've decided to execute some of the science division members. Like, they told you they were more intelligent. And they put in another military person in there. And says, we believe, based on our own research, that there is a brain bug, a super intelligent bug that might be controlling all the other bugs, a hive mind, if you will, even though all this information, fuck them, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we got to make sure to, we're going to do clandestine operations on the surface of the dumb bug planet. And we're going to fight for the fascist police state. Hell yeah, hoorah! And so we cut back to the Decent Richards, who is hearing all this very scary news, and she goes to the KIA MIA board. She got to look up with Johnny Rico, chat. Even though she just wants to be platonic friends with him, chat, she still has some feelings of affection towards him. Thank you so much. It's clearly smart people don't last long in this world, might be for the best. Yeah, it's not a good world to live in, I can tell you that much. And she goes, thank you for the Vibadies, by the way, Darkslayer. And she goes to the board chat, and she looks up the name Johnny Rico, KIA. She's like, oh, no. And even Xander's just like, shit. I'm sorry. Listen, I know that I haven't been the best person right now to you and to Johnny. I'm really sorry it came to this. And Xander's actually being a good guy here. He's just like, I'm sorry. I realize this and what we're up against right here. If you need anything, let me know. And she's like, I just need some time alone. He's like, I get it. And so Xander's a good guy, Chad. Xander's now a good guy. But you know in back of my mind, he's like, fuck yeah, he's dead. He's just happy. He's like, oh, yeah, no competition, baby. But then, chat, we cut to Johnny Rico. He's alive, chat, and he's in like a Bacta tank. He's floating on like a shitty-looking Bacta tank, chat. And we see these little robots repairing his thick Aryan thigh, chat, making sure to sew that good shit up. He's like, no, that's nice, that's nice. And then, chat, we see Dizzy and Jake Busey, the only two survivors of his original squad back at boot camp, and they have this piece of paper that says, hey, man, you're fucking dead. You're KIA. They go, whoo-hoo. And he goes, yeah, but I'm still alive. We know, man. We know. It's a joke. See, they accidentally had him listed as KIA, chat, but he's fine. He's totally fine. And Jake Busey's like, I'm going to go get some food. See you later. And he fucking runs off, and Dizzy's like, and she presses her chest against the goddamn Bacta tank. Just boop. And she kisses it. He's like, stop it. And she runs off. It's like, Dizzy, just take it easy for the love of God. And he comes out of the Bacta tank, chat, and him, Dizzy, and Jake Busey, they've been reassigned to a new person, chat, one of the best lieutenants in the fascist police state army. Like, who the hell is it? And they meet apparently the people serving under this individual, chat, and they're saying, we cannot speak higher of the lieutenant. He saved my life. He saved my life. And they go like, whoa, what kind of badass is he? And you know who the fucking badass is, chat? He walks in there, and you see his mechanical arm and shit. Michael goddamn Ironside, chat. He was a teacher now, but now he's fucking back to lead the troops, okay? That's what he's doing. And he sees fucking Johnny Rico. He goes, how you doing, Johnny? It's good to see you here. And he's like, Marines, infantrymen, we're going to go down to that nasty, shitty bug planet, and we're going to kill some goddamn bugs. We're going to make them regret for them being even a race. We're going to eradicate them. And they're like, hoorah! And they're going to go back down there, chat. And they send them all back down there, chat. And they're like, okay, we got to go. They got to go to a station, chat. Apparently, they've set up a clandestine station that's been doing research on the bugs, hoping to get one of these brain bugs. They don't know what it is, how it communicates, but it's like, it must be some kind of hive mind. And we got to go there, chat. But oh no, they've come under attack by fucking bugs. That was like the warrior bugs, chat. But they're like, they can hold them out, chat. They're a much better military unit. They know their goddamn shit. Now you're Brownie. My condition is in Thank you, Nia Brownie, for the 3 biddies. Hey, Christopher, hey, Juicekin, how you doing? Hard hands, Nia Brownie. I am talking about how awesome the fascist police state. No, I'm talking about the fascist police state featured in Starship Troopers and how it's filled with a lot of dumb fucking people. This movie's goddamn ridiculous. I hope you're doing very well, Nia Brownie. Always a pleasure having you here in the chat. But they're taking all the bugs, Chad. They have these like little rocket-propelled nuclear grenades, and they put them in this thing. And they take out like all these nests everywhere. It's pretty badass. But oh no, chat. So now they're under attack by this giant tank beetleborg bug, and it rises out of the fucking ground. Shit. Also, you find out what was launching those giant beams, those balls of light, chat, at the spaceships in outer space. They're the big butt bugs, chat. So they poop. They poop the big balls of light at the capital ships, and that destroys them, chat. So the Marines were being killed by big bright balls of poop. But thankfully they were all taken out, chat, by Johnny Rico and his people early in the movie, chat, before he got his thick Aryan thigh nearly cut off. It would have been pretty bad for him. But now we get like the big bad Beetleborg bug, chat, and they're walking and shit. And their special ability is, chat, they vomit, they regurgitate this magma, this liquid hot magma, chat. And we see this one badass Marine is like, stay back, guys, you got it. And she does not have it, though, because it vomits on her, chat. And she's like, whoa. But her arm gets caught in there, chat, and it melts her fucking arm. She's like, ah, ah. It's all like derpy. It's like the bones even start to like become soft and shit. It's like, ooh, God. Like you boil a bone, chat, and it gets like soft. You can like smush it and stuff. That's what happens to her arm. And Johnny Rico's like, don't worry, I got it. And he fucking runs up on this thing on a cliff, and he jumps on top of the big bad Beetleborg, chat. He's just, yeah, yeah. And he starts shooting at this thing, chat, until he gets a nice little gooey hole. Then he sticks his hand in there, chat, so he can hang on, because this thing's like, you're shooting my ass. Stop it. Jesus Christ, it hurts. And so he gets one of those nuclear grenades, and he goes, yeah, and he puts it in the goop, and then he flings himself off the big bad Beetleborg, chat, and the thing goes, oh God, and it explodes. His ass explodes, shit, everywhere, and it covers everyone. Thankfully, no one's covered in liquid hot magma, chat, but they're covered in like a lot of green and orange slime and splooge. And Michael Ironside sees this, holy shit, Johnny Rico, you're a badass. Hey, you want to be my new corporal since my other corporal got her arm melted? He goes, hell yeah, I do. And they, they do like a bro fist. Carl Weathers ask Arnold Schwarzenegger bro fist, chat. And it's like, okay, we need evac, though, for the melty arm Marine here, and we got to keep continuing on. So they get her out of there, Chad, and they continue walking on. And they have this one guy he's the spotter, Chad. He has to spot if there's any bugs incoming, and if they're close to the facility. He's like, okay, sir, I'll go check to see if we're close. And he gets his binoculars. He's like, I see the facility. He's like, soldier, do you see any bugs nearby? He goes, no, I don't see any bugs. And this flying, like, wasp bug gets him, Chad, and impales him in his tum-tum. He's like, ah! He's flying in the air and shit, and it lands. Shit lands on this little precipice, and it starts eating his ass. And he's like, my ass! And Michael Ironside's like, not on my watch. And he takes the sniper rifle, shit, and boom, he shoots the Marine, and his head explodes. And he says, should do all the same for me, given that situation. No man deserves to have his ass eaten out by a bug. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. And so they continue marching towards the facility, chat. Just nice, twerking the chaos, just dancing the chaos. And they go to the facility, chat, and the whole place has been overrun. Oh, I forgot, too. I forgot one other scene, chat. So, due to the success, they decide to set up camp. They decide to set up camp there. It's like, okay, we'll go take the facility out in the morning, okay? But for right now, I want to commendate Johnny Rico for everything that he did for us, for taking out that big bad Beetleborg and for putting up with me. And they're like, yeah. And so he got all these commendations, and he's like, you're my number 2 now. You're my number 2 since everyone's fucking melted. And my one corporal had her arm melted, and the other guy had his ass eaten out by a wasp. So you are now number 2. He goes, hell yeah. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's celebrating. They get like rations and shit because of the good work they're doing so far on the planet. Taking out a lot of bug shit. And, everyone's everyone starts dancing to like 90s X sci-fi music. Everyone's having a good time. But Dizzy, she's like, you want to dance with me, Johnny Rico? And he's like, no, Dizzy, I don't. She goes, fine, whatever. And she takes this one guy, Chad, and she dances with him. Michael Ironside comes up to Johnny Rico, and he goes, you once asked me, Johnny Rico, for something. Given the situation, if you wanted a piece of advice, here's my advice, son. You go get that ass. And he walks away. And Johnny Rico's like, All right. He goes up to the dance floor, tells us, here you go, Sergeant, here, drink some beers. And he starts dancing with Dizzy, and she's like, is it happening? He's like, it's happening. She's like, finally. And so they go back to their little domicile, chat, little bunk. And they start doing it, chat. They start stripping all their clothes off, and we get a really hot, sexy, sweaty scene between Dizzy and Johnny Rico, chat. And they're just going at it. But oh no, there's a ruckus going on in camp. We gotta go. We gotta get out. We gotta get to the facility now more than ever. And so Michael Ironside, he comes by the tent, opens up the zipper, and she's like, "Goo!" And she covers her bazookas in her head, chat. And he's like, Corporal Rico, we're moving out in 10 minutes, okay? Will you be ready? And he's like, sir, yes, sir. And he's like, and he sees the blanket move, and he goes, and, you know, Dizzy, she's like, hello, sir. And he goes, he looks at Dizzy, he looks at Johnny Rico, he's like, I'll give you 20 minutes. Good guy, Michael Ironside, Chad. Good guy, Michael Ironside. I'll give you 20 minutes to have the hot, sexy, sweaty sex. And he leaves, and Johnny Rico's like, we better start doing it, Dizzy. And they fuck hard, Chad. And then we cut. It's the next day, and they're on the facility, Chad. They get to the facility, and all the people there have just been fucking decimated, Chad. They've been disemboweled. They've been cut in half. Parts of people's bodies are just missing. You know, who knows? They've just been feasted upon by the bugs, and they need to know what the hell went down in here, Chad. They go into the mess hall, and they see that the bugs tunneled in through the facility itself. They went underneath, Chad, went underneath the asshole and exploded inward, and they ate everybody. They again, I was like, okay, we got to get communications up here and see what we can find. They go to the comms terminal, chat, and they notice the comms guy, for whatever reason, chat, the guy who sends all the codes, he seems fine except for one thing, chat. The only injury he has is his head, because they take his head, chat, all of his brains have been sucked out. And I go, that's fucking weird. Why have his brains been sucked out? And he's like, Dizzy, make sure to get someone on comms. We need an evac down here now. I feel a little uncomfortable about this. And eventually they hear some rustling going on in the mess hall, chat. They think there's a bug inside this fridge. And they're like, all right, on my count, 3, 2, 1. And they fucking open it, chat. And the guy's like, oh, Jesus. It's the general who's the commander of the facility. And he's saying, oh, Jesus, God, they just came in from the ground, man. It's so fucked up. He's like, control yourself, General. And Michael Ironside's just slapping the shit out of him. And he's like, what'd you see? He's like, I saw this big fat brain bug, and it sucked the brains out of that guy. He wants my brain, too. I have all the codes, man. I got the codes. And he's like, holy shit. And he's like, how many of them were there? And they go, he's like, I've never seen this many. Thousands of them. He's like, how long ago was this? He says, it was only a few hours ago. It's like, holy shit, chat. That means they're still nearby. This is a fucking trap. And they go, oh, shit. And he's like, man, the fucking, the ramparts, because the bugs are coming, chat. They all get on the goddamn ramparts and shit. And they're all manning them. And this giant, massive wave of bugs is coming towards them. Like, oh, my God. And the general's like, we're all going to fucking die. Run for your lives. Flee. And Michael Arnson just slaps the shit out of him. And he goes, he's like, you might as well just fucking kill me. Michael Arnson's like, okay. He's about to kill him. And Johnny Rico says, no, sir. He's just a little out of his mind. He's okay. He's like, whatever. And they all man the ramparts, chat, and they just start shooting at these fucking bugs, trying to stop them. Meanwhile, Dizzy, she manages to get in the comm station, chat. Who does she call? Fucking Denise Rich. She's like, hey, bitch, I just had sex with Johnny Rico, so you gotta come and save our asses. Do it right now. By the way, we had the sex. And she's like, hey, she's like, the fuck? And she's very upset by this. And they're setting down a emergency shuttle down to the plant surface, chat. But they still got to hold out. They got to hold out until they stop the bugs. There's just so many of them at this point. Marines are fucking dying. They have to fall back, chat. They're on the ramparts. They're just like, firing all the bugs, chat, using grenades and shit. Eventually, though, the emergency vehicle does come down. Oh, by the way, hilarious part, where they have one of the flying bugs coming at them, chat, the wasps. And Johnny Rico and I think Jake Busey and Dizzy, they shoot at the thing, and it clips its wings, but it's still falling, chat. And the general's like, oh my God! And it fucking smushes him, chat. Lands on him, he just explodes, chat, in a bloody, viscera, gut-laden cloud. It's like, God damn! And so eventually, the escape vehicle is just about to land, chat, and Michael Ironside like, all right, Marines, get going, and oh no, chat, but the ground underneath Michael Ironside, it starts to go, like explodes out from underneath him, chat. And some of these Marines get dragged down along with Michael. He's like, no, and the bugs, they eat his fucking legs, chat. They eat his legs and his ball and peen. He's peenless now. He's like, and they drag him out, chat. But he's got nothing down there anymore, chat. He's just a torso now, and he looks at Johnny Rico. Now, I totally misremembered this scene. Thank you, by the way. thank you to Adden Duncan, priest of all you, my new Huckleberry. Hope you're enjoying the scene of Michael Ironside having his legs, balls, and peen eaten. But I misremember this scene completely. I always thought that he took grenades, chat, and just went down to the pit and exploded himself. No, I don't know why I misremembered this, chat, but no, what he just looks at Johnny Rico and just says, "Do it," and Johnny Rico just shoots him in the chest, which, by the way, shoots him on his right side, chat. Now, if you might not know human physiology, the heart's on the right side, and so you shot him in the left side. It's like, did you collapse a lung? Did you just shot some meat? So he's like, what the fuck? No, kill me. So he just fucking killed him. He gets eaten. He gets munched on. But oh no, yeah, right before everyone started boarding the thing, one of the big bad Beetleborg bugs is now on the facility, chat. And Dizzy, she's like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll take care of it. And she gets her grenade, chat, and goes, and it goes right into the mouth of the big bad Beetleborg, chat, and it explodes everywhere, blood, viscera, everything's great. And she's like, yeah, I did it, I killed the bug, and I did it with Johnny. Woo! She's happy, chat, but oh no, because a goddamn bug comes in, chat, and goes, oh, right into her tum-tum, chat, right through her tum-tum and one of her bazungas. Bazunga is gone. And she's like, oh, God. And Johnny's like, no, Dizzy. And he goes out there, chat, and he starts fucking firing. And everyone's like, no. And they manage to sever the bug's pincers from it. They're still stuck inside of it. She's like, and she's not going good. And so they drag her into the thing, into the escape shuttle, chat, with Xander and things. Xander's helping out. I'm here for you, Johnny. He's like, I'm here for you, Xander. He's like, yeah, we're best friends. And they go inside there, chat. We only see these other two guys. They just get melted by the magma bug, chat. They get splooged on, and they melt and go, oh, Jesus Christ, it's fucked up. And eventually the thing takes off. It takes off. And then Dizzy's just sitting there going, oh, God. And, Johnny's just like, Dizzy, it's okay. I'm here for you. And she's like, at least I still got that. And she dies. That's her last goddamn word. She says, at least I had you. At least I had you. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. That's what she did. That's what she got. At least I got the D. And so he's like, fuck. And he goes up to the pilot's nest where Denise Richards there. She's like, that bitch is dead, isn't she? She's happy about that. And he's like, we got to report back to base. We got to take care. We got some major fucking intel of this brain bug. It's a serious goddamn business. So they go there, chat. They have a funeral for Dizzy, chat. Straight from Star Trek to the Wrath of Khan, chat. They straight up copied Star Trek to the Wrath of Khan. Have you ever seen that movie? It's Spock's funeral scene. It's like, wow, you guys didn't. Paul Bear was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care at this point. And so they send her off, chat, everything. She was so human. And all that shit, like William Shatner's delivery. Eventually, though, like, okay, enough of funerals. We gotta get back on the planet. We gotta take care of this brain bug, okay? And who fucking walks in? Who's in charge of this operation? He was gone for about an hour and 40 minutes. This is a 2+ hour movie, chat. But he's now here back 1 hour and 40 minutes later. Neil Patrick Harris. And apparently, that facility they were at, that was his facility. And they abandoned it because they knew it was a trap. And so Johnny Rico and Denise were like, are you fucking kidding us? Are you saying that thing was a fucking trap the whole time? He's like, listen, we had to learn where the location the brain bug was, and we put specific military personnel there to see if they would be attracted to them and suck out their brains. And that's proven to be a fact. He's like, but that's fucked up, man. And Neil Patrick Harris looks at Johnny Rico and he goes, listen, man, we work for a fascist police state. This is the way it is. For the greater goddamn good. For fascism. And Johnny Rico goes, yeah, man. Fascism. So that's it. And they're like, all right, I guess we're good. It's like, wow, okay. All right, sure. And so Johnny Rico and his boys, they get sent out of the planet. We got to find ourselves a brain bug. But oh no, chat. The bombardment from the big booty butt bugs, it has resumed, chat. And the poop, the glowing poop is raining upon the capital ships. And one of those capital ships being Denise Richards' ship. And it hits her ship. And it splits it in fucking two. And you see all these people going, oh! They're all getting sucked down the space, chat. And because in space, what happens is you kind of explode. Like you explode like a balloon. If like the oxygen has nowhere to go, chat, goes and you pop, and you see other people go boop, and you see them popping in outer space. It's fucking horrifying. But then, Denise Richards, Xander, and their military commander, they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And they're running and shit. And Denise Richards is like, I have to do the evacuation. Or it's like, the commander's like, we know to evacuate. The ship just split in half. We know we have to leave. And so they're all running and shit, chat. But the military commander, she's kind of like having some issues, chat. She's like, oh, it's so misty. And she falls over, chat. And this is an iconic scene, death scene in the movie, where the fucking automatic door comes down her, chat, and goes, splits her in two, chat. Just not all the way. Like, it crushes all of her stuff, chat. It just goes, and she goes, and all of her guts, and it's like, and she just poops out some of her guts and shit. It's like, oh my God. And Denise Richards is like, are you okay? He's like, no, she's not okay, Denise Richards. She pooped out her goddamn stomach. She's not okay. And she's like, get out of here. And she vomits some more intestines and shit. And her and Xander get to an escape pod, chat, but oh, Jesus Christ, because the ship is just getting destroyed at this point, the escape pod, it doesn't go to its the destination. It's supposed to be picked up by another capital ship vehicle, but no, it heads down towards the planet, chat. And where do they head to? The central hive of the bugs, chat. Uh-oh, that's not good. And they land in their, chat, and they have to escape. They're like, oh, shit, how we get out of here, chat? And then they have to fight all these goddamn bugs. They're surrounded by them now. And now it's down to Xander and Denise Richards. Meanwhile, we come back to Johnny Rico and Jake Busey still mourning the death of Dizzy, chat. But they got to lead these Marines. They got to lead these goddamn Marines, chat. And they got some new recruits just out of boot camp, chat. And here we have the establishment of Rico's Roughnecks. And it's like, I only expect one thing from you, to do your goddamn duty. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you. I'll shoot you dead. I'll kill you dead. It's like, all right, shit. And they go out there, chat. But then they heard the distress beacon from Denise Richards and Xander saying they need help. And, Rico's overcome with emotion. And he's like, I got to save Denise Richards and I guess Xander. And so him and Jake Busey, and so his Marines go to rescue team, form a rescue team and try to help them, Chad. They go inside the hive. But then we cut back to, Xander and Denise Richards, Chad. Things aren't going good. Denise Richards, she gets impaled by one of them through her shoulder. Chad, one of her shoulders, Chad, gets impaled. And Xander, he gets his leg, like his calf, gets impaled. And he's being held on the ground. But the bugs aren't killing them, Chad. No, Chad. And then we see this giant, bloated, larva-looking bug just going, oh, God, so hard. It's like, wow, this is the brain bug, Chad. This is what they were. It's like, oh, you're the brain bug. What have you been looking for? He's like, yes, I'm the brain bug. Oh, do you have any buttered noodles? He's like buttered noodles fat, Chad. Every time it's like a B word, it sounds like that. And he has like a little sucky, I don't know, spindly thing, Chad. Like a little pincer that sucks out all the giblets and the brains. And he's like, bring me the Xander boy. And Xander is like placed right in front of him. And Xander's just like, I know, I'm not fucking afraid of you. You disgust me. There's going to be someone like me that's going to destroy your entire fucking race. Patooey! And he fucking spits on him to his patooey. And the brain bug's like, it's gross. And he goes, and he fucking sticks his little pincer in him, Chad, and just starts sucking up all the Xander brain juices. He's like, he would cut to Xander's face. He's like, those brains getting sucked up. And he sucks up everything, Chad. Xander's just a husk. He goes, and the brain bug's like, that was good, Xander. Denise Richards, you're next. And Denise Richards is placed right in front of him. He's like, delicious, Denise Richards. He's about to do it, chat. But then fucking Johnny Rico and Jake Busey, chat, and the Roughnecks, they enter in their chin, they start blasting. And the fat brain bug's like, oh, Jesus, no, I can't handle this. Defeat him, my children. And the brain bug is carried away while the bugs try to fight him and shit. Eventually, they rescue Denise Richards, Chad, and they leave fucking Xander's body in there to be, I don't know, feasted upon. Who gives a shit about Xander? He's dead. And so they go outside, Chad. Everyone's fucking celebrating. They're like, what's going on? And apparently, Chad, during the rescue mission, which we do not see at all, fucking Clancy Brown returns to the movie, and he captured the brain bug. And he just captured it. And they're like, woo, Clancy Brown! And he's happy, chap, because the only thing that they set up in the movie, the only way you're going to be able to be on the fucking bug plan, Clancy Brown, is if we de-rank you. He's like a sergeant, so you got to be a private. He's like, I just took the job to be private, and lo and behold, I found the fucking brain bug just running away. He's like, oh, no. And Clancy Brown got him, chap. Then Neil Patrick Harris comes down. And he's like communicating with the brain bug telepathically, chat. And the brain bug's, oh God, not Doogie Howser. And Neil Patrick Harris touches the brain bug. He's like, oh God, I don't like you. And Neil Patrick Harris is like, it feels fear. It feels fear. And that everyone goes, woo. Everyone's like really happy about it, feeling fear, and go, yay, yay, we have captured the brain bug. And then we cut to like all this propaganda and how the military scientists, chat, under the direction of the fascist police state, have started doing experiments on the brain bug, chat, which basically includes sticking stuff up its ass. That's all they do to this, stick things up its ass just to fuck with it. And we will soon analyze our enemy, and we will defeat this terrible race, this evil, disgusting race, the bugs. I was like, okay, sure. And it's like, will you do your part? And then it cuts to Denise Richards like, I'm doing my part. And it cuts to Jake Busey going, I'm doing my part. And it cuts to Johnny Rico going, and I'm doing my part. Starship Troopers, chat. And that, my friends, is the movie. That is Starship Troopers. I hope you enjoyed this review. Chris, I love your brain bug voice. Thank you. Also, thank you to Mr. How many for the 25 minutes laughing my ass. I don't know how I'll look up, but please consider making a butt turd noodles emote. Thank you. I'll consider that. Maybe just me going, oh, buttered noodles, like me with like all these fucking rolls around my neck or something. Buttered noodles. I'll look into that. That'd be really good. Oh my God. I'm sorry. You had to watch that, Chris. Honestly, the thing is, man, I had a lot of fun with this film. Some of the acting is not good. Denise Richards is awful in the film. There's some other supporting actors who aren't good, but like Michael Ironside kicks ass. Clancy Brown does a great job. Dean Norris does a great job. Neil Patrick Harris is fine. Even Casper Van Dine does a good job. I liked the whole satirization angle that they went with, even though it's kind of like ends in a really dark way. Like they didn't really learn anything at the end of the movie. Just like, yeah, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. And I guess that's consistent with all the movie. Show, thank you so much for resubscribing. 11 months using that Prime subscription too. Thank you for using your Prime subscription on my channel. 1 month away from a full year, man, till you get the clear whiskey glass. Thank you so much. Happy to have you here, my friend. Whoa, Daniel Gormley, welcome. Over 13 months, over a year. Thank you so much, Danielle. Hope you're doing great today. Just finished my review for Starship Troopers, the 1997 cult classic, directed by Paul Verhoeven. But as I was saying, chat, the satirization and the very tongue-in-cheek humor and the violence, and really the only thing like, other than Denise Richards and some supporting characters are just like, wow, you're just doing a bad job. You were there to be cannon fodder or to look pretty. That's what it is. Male or female, chat. That's why they're there. I still have fun with the film. Despite the CGI effects not aging very well, they're dated. They're nearly 25 years old. CGI especially from the late 90s all the way to the mid 2000s just does not age very well. And that takes points off for me. But the choreography for the scenes is very cool, Chad. Like, the ideas behind them are very, very cool. And he does still incorporate, I'll give Paul Verhoeven this, he still incorporates a lot of practical effects, Chad. A lot of blood and viscera and just limbs being torn off. It's like, that's cool. I like to see that in my sci-fi action films. So, no, I had fun with this movie, honestly, Chad. Like, I give this a matinee. It's a matinee film. I can totally understand if someone does not like this kind of movie, whether it's, even though it's not promoting fascism. It's satirizing fascism. But if you're like, I just don't want to see a movie that even does that, then it's like, okay, fair enough. Then I don't think you'll like this movie. Or some of the really hokey acting or sometimes downright bad acting. But there is a lot to appreciate this. I think perhaps it's a little too long. It's a little too long, Chad. It is over 2 hours. I think maybe it needed just be like an hour and 45. I think it would have been good. Cut out some of the unnecessary fat, like Denise Richards scenes. You don't really need those. Like, her scenes are just, like, you don't need any of these. Like, they're kind of boring, honestly. Like, if she just is not in the movie, it's kind of a better film overall. Instead, it's just this one girl is just constantly lusting after, and that's the big thing, Chad. What's so kind of weak about it is the reason why so many of these characters do what they want to do is they just want to have sex with each other. All these pretty people just want to have sex with one particular person, and that's what motivates them for the most of it, or revenge. That's really it. And so maybe that you could critique that because the motivations are very sparse, if non-existent. But still, chap, I would give it a matinee. It's all about the sex. It is indeed. Starship Holiday Special. I love to see that. There's also solid political commentary hidden in the goofy. No, it is. It is. It's very much a satirization of fascism. There's no doubt about that. Stuff like even Fox News and pokes fun at Fox News very effectively, in my opinion. There are some really all of the it's very similar to something like, not as good, but it is similar to something like Paul Verhoeven's work in RoboCop or Total Recall. I really like that. So just like the military, they are all horny motherfuckers in this movie. They really are. Moral of the story, sex saves the world. It kind of did, and ended up saving the world by defeating the brain bug. Oh, but there you go, Chad. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'm going to take a brief break, Chad. Brief break. I'm going to come back and do my review for Gravity Falls, Episode 8, Chad. Irrational Treasure.